All right, welcome all. I've pretty much just gone straight from one stream to another, so hopefully you guys have all watched the Forex update, Forex and commodities, and because the recording went for like an hour or so, so I said I will do two separate ones rather than one long video, so now we will move into crypto. But yeah, if you haven't already, go watch the Forex and commodities update because that is very insightful. But yeah, we'll get straight into crypto. Let's see what BTC is doing. Of course, we've got this very powerful supply level above, and then we also have this powerful supply level as well. So this was, well, this would have been some sort of structural supply. So we are technically in a confirmed distribution, as you can see here. We've pushed up nicely into our 6-hour supply POI. And what I am seeing is a little low time frame distribution forming here. I am intrigued to see how it pans out, if you will. At the moment, there's no real return to zone, but you can always, take this into context when charting it up, just because obviously, you are in a high time frame confirmed distribution. So as much as you can have a little bit of leeway, but regardless, I will still want to see a nice return to zone, like full stop. But other things I might overlook. But yeah, for now I am wanting to see a pullback. We do have some demand as well. Fairly heavy, like pretty heavy demand to be honest. So I would like to see a pullback into this whole thing's really demand. So I would want some form of mitigation here first before we move up again, like that ideally, and then slowly come up, create that return to zone, and flush back down. So that is what I am liking, what I'm wanting to see here for BTC. And yeah, for now I'm just going to be patient. Yeah, Bitcoin is in a pro shorting environment, so any other altcoins I would be looking to short. Before I skip to ETH, I want to quickly jump to USDT dominance, because we are also on our way to a we're on our way to confirm this higher time frame accumulation model, which would obviously mean it's the inverse correlation. So USDT dominance goes up, price of Bitcoin does go down. Just realized I haven't put any tunes. I'll get some tunes cranking. But yeah, so at the moment, we can see a distribution model potentially forming, which we can then short into, well, not necessarily short, but look into here, which would take a, this is mute. All right, you know what? No music. It's just taking too long. Which you can look to take into here. And then, yeah, in turn, you'll obviously get your potential third tap, which can then move up into this, range, high time frame, range TP area, or range high. It's probably the easiest way to explain it. But yeah, and then obviously if we confirm the accumulation here with a potential third tap, then you can expect, once we break structure, let's say that is our market structure high, that's us breaking structure, you can then obviously expect most of the crypto market to start to drop quite a bit. Yeah, like Bitcoin and all your alts are starting to move even lower in price, which is kind of slowly already happening, but No confirmation as of yet, but this is, yeah, it's looking very likely. Put it that way, it is looking very likely. What I will do is just change this so it looks a bit better. Yeah, that's better. Easier to understand. And yeah, like really nice return to zone here. Really nice. Yeah, sweet. All right. Let's move into ETH. ETH is looking to accumulate, which I'm not like. Sorry, accumulate a lot of time frames. So yeah, I don't know why I laughed about that. It's actually quite, to be fair, it's actually quite in line with our context. To be fair. So yeah, what do I expect? This low time frame accumulation to come up, mitigate some supply, slowly move back down, like really slow, sweep this extreme liquidity, and then move up, create our third tap, and then flush down aligning with Bitcoin and USDT dominance. So yeah, so far so good. Our alerts are set. I think I did this pre-planning yesterday, or most of this pre-planning yesterday. So yeah, that's kind of it for majors. Yeah, things to monitor is, as I said, we're already in a confirmed distribution model, but we really want to monitor for Confluence is this USDT dominance. I'm just trying to have a look. Did this grab anything? Because technically speaking, this could be an already confirmed. Technically speaking, this could be an already confirmed accumulation model. The only thing I didn't like was that tap 2 and 3 were quite close to each other. But technically speaking, yeah, technically speaking, this could already be a confirmed model. With this being your extreme liquidity, which has been taken. But yeah, I'm going to monitor this distribution range for the time being. And we also have supply above. Which has not been mitigated as of yet. So yeah, we'll see what happens for now. But yeah, we're kind of in a pro shorting environment. Fartcoin. Where are we at? Yeah, I'm still going to leave this as is. We are in a confirmed distribution schematic here as well. So yeah, just like guys, if you're watching this and you're, you know, bear with me. Give me a second. We back. Yeah, so if you're tuning into this now and you're like the, you know, the retail crypto guy who follows, you know, Wiz and whatever other crypto, big name crypto guys are out there in the space and they're telling you, you know, long Farcoin to the moon or Bitcoin to the moon. You know, Bitcoin's just Bitcoin's in an uptrend, guys. Bitcoin to the moon. Look at this. Like, please don't, for your own sake, because it's not gone to the moon yet. It could at some point in 3-4 years, maybe in a year, but the models are saying short. Like, the models are saying short. So yeah, just be very wary on who you follow on Twitter. Point being, and if they're shilling you the shit out of this coin, then probably don't buy it. That'd probably be a good idea. Like even Farcoin at the moment, it's in a confirmed distribution. All I know for now, is I'm expecting it might not happen. Same thing. Like at the end of the day, this is all probabilities. It might not happen, but I'm expecting us to hit this level at some point. So, you know, from where we are to this level, you're looking at a 23, almost a 24% drop in this shitcoin. So look, after that, it can always go higher. It can always go back up. But for now, at the levels that I'm seeing, I'm expecting lower. And also, for us to really look at the big picture, you could, it could bottom out, but for now, I'm expecting lower. And you've got heavy supply above here. Sweet. All right, what is next? Render. Technically speaking, this was kind of a confirmed schematic to an extent. Which I am expecting the range low to be hit at some point. I'm trying to, is this on? Yeah, it is. I'm trying to see how would I have traded this, because I reckon it would have been borderline out of its deviation. Yeah, it would have been. It was borderline out of its deviation tool, but it was only a week, and we also front ran this. So, did any extremes get grabbed in here? That's the question. Yeah, this is valid. That is a valid sweep, meaning this would have been your tap 3. Like this would have been your tap 2, and then obviously this was your tap 1. So yeah, this was a valid distribution to take. Although the taps were very close to each other, but they were valid. The only thing is that is fairly sketchy and isn't, like, I don't normally like trading this way, is you want the break of structure to be within the range. If you get a break of structure outside of the range, like obviously you got, you know, let's distribution range, for example, you would have swept, let's break this down, you would have swept the extremes in here, and then looking at market structure, valid market structure, there you go. So this would have been a valid break to take. Nice 45-minute, you know, it's not like extremely low on like the 2 or the 3 minute or the 5 minutes, fairly decent, you know, 45-minute low, which still gives you really nice, still gives you a really nice risk reward. Like for a 45-minute entry, gives you a really nice risk to reward of 7.28, guys, and this is off a 45-minute break of structure. Like, see what I mean? But point being, and where I was going with this is that I like my breaks to be in this, within the main range area, not the deviation limit. It still wouldn't give you a decent, you know, 2.7, but it's play it safe. That's why I didn't take this in the first place, because it was just a little bit sketchy, and you know, the break of structure occurred quite far out of this, or far out of the main range, but still within the deviation range. So just something to be wary of there and be a bit cautious, but still valid, but just sketchy. Quant, what are we doing here? It's like this is like, I wouldn't take this because it's counter context AF. Just killed a little bug. This is very counter context. You got Bitcoin in a confirmed distribution. You got USDT in what seemed to be a fairly confirmed accumulation, and that means that alts are expecting to go lower, but then you have Quant, which is forming a really nice accumulation model. Would I take this? Probably not, just because it is so counter context. Like if this was in reverse and this was a distribution, then man, if this was a distribution model, this would be the cleanest entry ever, and you could like 4 or 5% risk on this shit. Like, but it isn't, so it's not something that I will be looking at, and I'm expecting this demand, to be completely frank with you, despite having a nice return to zone. Maybe we might squeeze up a little bit, like around EQ, and then I'm expecting us to continue to flush down. So that is my my expectational order flow on Quant, given the higher time frame crypto context. Pump, what are we doing there? Not much. I think you have a potential distribution forming right here. This looks very clean. Very clean, but very short. I actually thought this was on the 30-minute, but it's on the 5-minute. Like, I wouldn't be taking this personally, but when in Rome, yeah, this is terrible. Terrible. Oops. Yeah, that's kind of it for pump. If anything, can we deem that valid on anything? All right, I'm going to leave this as is for now. We'll go to XLM. Not much, pretty shitty price action. A potential PO3 schematic here on Cake, which it's looking good to complete itself. Yeah, it's looking fairly good to complete itself. Let's have a look on Hype. Yeah, like this looks nice. I expect this to go lower. Hype, not the nicest range. Probably swept some form of extremes in there. Aave. You know what? Let's go back into Hype. For the Hype degens. I just don't like how these are all so damn close to each other. And there's no real extreme POI here, unless the only extreme POI is this, which has been mitigated, and therefore this is my third tap on the higher time frame. And there you go. That's pretty much it. That's your entry around there on a break of structure there, which is aligning everything else. Aave. If we happen to come up in here, I'll look for distributions. I think we didn't front run this, but for now, we'll see what happens here. XRP, everyone's favorite. Everyone's favorite shitcoin looks shit. That is as good as I will describe it. "45-minute structure supply above," which has grabbed all these highs. If we can catch a distribution here, I will take it. You know what, to be fair, this isn't looking that bad actually to distribute. That is, yeah, that's XRP for now. XMR. This looked good until it didn't. We still got that naked low there. Don't forget, guys. I have not forgotten of the naked low, that's for sure. Technically speaking, this is a confirmed Model 1. Could it be a high time frame Model 2? It absolutely can. 100%. And then, yeah, knowing the broader context of the market, it is looking pretty good, to be fair. Any clinical POIs in here? Oops. We do have liquidity here. There's no real supply above, which is the only thing I don't like about this. There's technically this supply. I mean, hey, if it gets mitigated, it gets mitigated, but we'll see. That is my pre-planning for XMR at the moment. Yeah, we can go a little longer there. Right, Sui. Same thing, like off first glance, I'm not really seeing much distributive price action. We have supply there on the 3 hour, but what does it look like on the lower time frame? Always very important to see how valid this is on the lower time frame. It's like just been mitigated, but you can always slightly move this above to the next unmitigated spot, and that is valid. So that is all good. But yeah, so we're just looking to continue. So we're just looking to continue going down for the time being towards this naked low, which I do expect to get hit. Doge compressed really nicely here, like really nicely. I'll tell you what, the pre-planning here was actually quite nice. And what I'm going to be monitoring is this. So we will see what happens here. All right, that's it for Doge. We can monitor this as well. What I'll do is remove the EQ line. There we go. A little potential distribution inside of a potential distribution. A lot of potentials going on here. A lot of potentials. All right, with initially at first glance, my initial thought was, oh wow, distribution model potentially, but like you got to use a bit of common sense here. Let's say this is your tap 1, Wyckoff low tap 2. We like a tap 1 and 2 to be further away than a tap 2 and 3. Now, unless tap 3 moves up like this in a straight line, it's gonna just be slightly shorter in distance than what tap 1 and 2 will be. But if tap 3 moves normally, which is what price action up into tap 3 moves normally, which is what we expect, because we don't expect a random pump up like that or like that. By the time price reaches around here, like you're going to be around here. That's a greater distance than what these two are. All right. So yeah, that's why I'm not even like looking at this range. Point being, could this be a range from here to here? Maybe, but not for the time being. And then technically speaking, this could be a potential confirmed Model 1. Like technically speaking, it is a confirmed Model 1 because prices come in. Yeah, this is a Model 1, so you can expect price to flush. Let me quickly see what Bitcoin did. Okay, yep, fair enough. So yeah, so we are in a confirmed model. Is there anything up here that we can come back to? I will also double check and see how this looks on the lower time frame. All right, that's valid, I think. Yeah, that's valid. Okay, so I will only look for a re-entry if we come back up into here. Otherwise, I will not be looking to enter. I'm not going to be playing chase here. Litecoin is also looking okay from a distribution perspective. We've come out of this compression, sort of. I just want to send some cleaner looking price action into these taps here. I think this might be the extreme liquidity point. It's already grabbed. This is our extreme liquidity, which is a really nice POI as well because it's near this tap one. So for Litecoin, this is our extreme liquidity POI. Damn, I should have really put some music here, eh? That's all right. And of course, I will like if possible, a nice return to zone coming up into this third tap. So we'll see what happens there. Sol. Just rangy price action here, which I'm not too interested in. Asta has looked terrible for a very long time now. Yeah. Any PIs on Solis that I could have charted up? Not really, eh? That's all been mitigated. Sweet. Astro, as we said, nothing. Link. This got ran through, invalidated. Virtual, not much. Ton, not much for Ton either. Really nice distribution there in Bitcoin Cash, if anyone took that. Not much going on here. Pepe, this is the game plan on Pepe, which remains intact. It's pretty self-explanatory. Continue this really nice uptrend, creating higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, all the way up into here. Clean break of structure, creating our third tap, and then we can short. So for Pepe at the moment, I am really liking this. Really, really liking this. Higher time frame, we are in, yeah. And you can easily, with this, you can easily take a partial TP here, and just because like, look at this really nice return to zone starting all the way from like here. You can pretty much just let the rest of this play run down. So take a partial, cover your ass around here, or like at the technical target, and then just let this thing roll down, because it can definitely roll down. Like with these key lows, like, man, this is nice. Higher low, 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 higher low. These are all here to get taken, every single one of them. So just have that in the back of your head. If we get a really clean distribution schematic, what I will do is put Pepe top of the list, because it's in the best looking short position out of them all, really. Yeah, that is Pepe, and then Trump. Trump looks cooked, absolutely cooked. If we ever come back up to this supply up here, noted. If we ever come up to the supply, and then Brett could distribute. Theoretically speaking, it may already have. No, I do like this more. Leave that as is. So I do expect low on Brett as well. Let's see if there's any supply in there. I think there is. I think there will be. To be completely honest. Valid. Definitely valid. You know what, before I get too ahead of myself, yeah, that's fine. That is valid structural supply. Which has been mitigated. There you go. So yeah, that is pretty much crypto. Yeah, still a lot to go for this to form. Yeah, Pepe. Fartcoin doing Fartcoin. Quickly save this render. Yeah, no real supply here either, unless you look at that. You can if you want. If we ever come back up here anytime soon, yeah, quant, counter context, wouldn't take it. Cake. Oh, was this the shitty looking one on the lower time frame? It's actually valid on the lower time frame, so yeah. It's technically a valid structure supply POI. AUD CAD. I will quickly check this. If you wanted to, oh, this if you wanted to find out anything in terms of Forex or commodities, check out the Forex and commodities market update. Quite a bit of source was sourced in that one. There you go. If you've made it this far, you get a bit of Forex knowledge. So what were we doing here? Yeah, really nice return to zone, like really nice return to zone coming in all the way from here. Beautiful. And essentially we would like a break. If we can break here, I am very happy. So this is the pre-planning essentially. Market structure high is here. Long, put your stops like there. And yeah, TP1 would be at this supply zone, which still gives you a really nice like 5 risk to reward, so quite a bit to work with. Yeah, that's all I got for now. Thank you all for listening, viewing, watching, and I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.